Welcome guys again to my channel, and today I will be taking us through some very important formulas on Excel that we can never do without, most especially those of us that are just very new to Excel, and even those of us that we've been using Excel for one thing or the other. So there are some four formulas that you can actually be using in your day-to-day Excel project that can fasten the way in which you do some processes. So I'll be talking about the sum if formula, the sum if, the average if, and then the average ifs formula, and I'll be telling you under different circumstances in which you can actually apply these different formulas. So starting from the sum if formula, so this is my first criteria, and then this is my second criteria. Now I want to find price of Ford the price of Ford that we sold in the year 2022. But we have different Ford cars. We have this is the first Ford car sold. So, and it's blue in color. This is the second one, is blue in color too. This is the third one, is black, and then this is the fourth one, is red. But I want to find the price generated from the sales of the Ford car, but not just all the Ford cars. I want the blue Ford cars, so, like the price of money we generated by selling just blue Ford cars. So, I've narrowed down my expectations using different criteria. That's the Ford and then the color. So, how do we write the SUMIF formula to generate the final answer for us, which is the price? So, type your equals to, then type your sum ifs, then the sum range, which is the expected output you are expecting, then separate with a comma, then your range, which is your first criteria range here, you separate with a comma, then your criteria, your first range is under your brand name, so you make sure you click the particular brand name you are looking for, which is the Ford, and then you separate with another comma. So the second range, which is the blue, which is the color part, separate with a comma, and then you come here, click on this particular blue color so as to narrow it down successfully. Then you press your enter. So that means the blue Ford cars, by selling just the blue Ford cars in the year 2022, so we're able to generate 108,000. So $108,000 or 180,000 naira, depending on the currency you are familiar with. So that's how to use the sum ifs. Then the sum if formula. So we will only be dealing with just one criteria in sum if formula. So under sum ifs we can deal with two or more criterias, but here under sum if without an s we'll be dealing with just one criteria. So how do we now? I want to find the total number of money generated by the sale of an itel phone, the total number of money generated by the sale of an itel phone. So this is an itel phone. This is another itel phone, an itel phone. So I want to calculate. I want this my Excel software to add together the prices generated from the first one, the second one, and then the third one. So am I going to write the formula just similar to the one I did the first time, which is the sum ifs? Type my equals to, then type my sum, then sum if, the range, so which is the phone range, right? Sorry, separate with the comma, the criteria with the comma, and then the sum range, and then you press your enter. So 1,220. So if you had 550 plus 220 and 450 is going to give you this number. So that's the sum if, and then the average if. The average if is similar to that of sum if. So, but this time around we are looking for the average. So we want to find the average quantity of the milk chocolate they were sold in the year 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. So how do we write the average if formula? So you type your equals average if. So this is the range, comma, your criteria is this milk comma, and then the average range, because we want to find it across 2022 to 2025. You highlight it from here to here, and then you press your enter. That's 59. So that means if you had the quantity sold here in 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025 for this milkway, the same thing with this one, because this is another milkway here. So add everything together, then divided by the number of times in which they occur. So you are getting this 59. Then the last one, which is the average ifs. Average ifs. So it's similar to this sum ifs, because we'll be dealing with two or more criteria. So what are the criteria? Now I want to find the quantity of chocolate, the quantity of the Kit Kat chocolate sold. So, but not just an ordinary Kit Kat. I didn't want to find the quantity of Kit Kat sold in every city. I want to find the number of the Kit Kat chocolate that was sold in just Iowa, the Iowa state. So how do I narrow my formula down to this particular values? So I will type my equals to and then the average ifs formula. So the average range, so which is the quantity sold, that's my average range, separate with a comma, and then the range one, which is the names of the chocolate, separate with a comma, and then the name of that particular chocolate, comma, then your criteria two, which is the state, comma, and then the name of the state. You click it here. So you are done. The next thing is press your enter. That's 205. So that means if you had your 100 here to another, this Kit Kat in Iowa, do you have another Kit Kat in Iowa here? This another Kit Kat in Iowa, 310. So if you add them together and then you divide them by 2, so you are going to get this. So that's how to use the average ifs, the average if, sum if, and the sum if formula. So thank you so much, guys, for staying tuned for staying true to my channel. So I'll be open to drop some other very extensive tutorials on how to use some other advanced formulas in Excel. So thank you so much, guys, and hoping to see you very soon. Thank you so much.